everybody, and welcome to Luxcana. We have a very special and important guest, Diego. How are you doing, Diego?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Um, yeah.
Thank you so
How are
much
you?
for coming on. I really appreciate it. So, I guess let's get started. How are you feeling about Worlds? Because they did announce the date,
Uh,
so I am a little sad I can't come and support you, but at the same time, it's probably going to be definitely better for the players.
yeah, it's a little bittersweet. I only went to one DLC, so in that DLC, I saw a lot of friends, and it was a great time hanging out with everyone.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate it's not going to be like that for Worlds, but I mean, the other World competitors, I'm close with some of them, and like I've met them in person before, and it should be a really good time. Like, I'm really excited for just the whole week in general. So, I'm going down a little earlier before the tournament.
Okay.
I'm just gonna enjoy the parks, enjoy Disney Springs, leading up to the tournament, then stay. The tournament be Saturday, Sunday, and then um, yeah, they have something special planned for us. They're really treating us right.
Oh, that's
Uh,
awesome.
but it is unfortunate. It's not open to the public.
Now, are you like feeling like the pressures of it at all?
Not yet.
Not
No, there. I
yet.
mean,
Okay.
there is a little bit of pressure of practicing.
Mhm.
Right now, they haven't released the format of the tournament or anything, but us players, we do know, and it is a lot to practice for. There's a lot to take in. This new
Uh-huh.
set is just rapid firing all these new cards, and it's
Yeah.
I'm really gonna have to learn them all in a short amount of time. But I'm preparing myself. I'm getting really ready.
That's awesome. Well, we're gonna wish you good luck. And then, what Disney park are you most excited to go to?
Good question. So I love Hollywood Studios. They have like the best rides. They
I
have the Star Wars
agree.
ride.
Don't they also
There's
have the
the
Slinky ride?
Yeah, they have the Slinky ride, which I haven't been on, and I really want to go on just to say I did it. Every single time, like I've gone there before, and then the one time before, it was closed down all day. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just one of those things.
We
But yeah, they
actually,
have great rides.
yeah, we actually stayed after in Continentals and went to Disneyland because I've never been.
Mm.
And Guardians of the Galaxy ride is almost like Tower of Terror there.
Yeah, yeah, and like it has just the Guardians skin
Mm-hmm.
to it.
So I thought that was like
But
a very like it's different but also like refreshing, but you still get the same thrill of the ride.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And like Tower of Terror is pretty. It's old now.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting up there and its age. I'm also looking forward to going to Epic Universe. It's a new
Oh
Universal
yes,
park.
that's opening.
Yeah, and I already got my tickets. I got a fast pass ticket. It costs way too much,
Oh, I bet.
but I'm there. Like we're only able to do that for a single day, so I'm gonna do that for as fast as possible. The day we land, go there, try to do every single ride. Go to the Super Nintendo World, which is just gonna be amazing.
Oh wow. That's gonna be so fun. And I feel like because you have such like a short amount of time that like doing the fast pass is so needed. Because then for you don't
Oh
have to like
yeah,
waste your time waiting for that.
yeah, 100%. It's really pricey though. It's like 1.5 times the amount of the ticket you would pay to get to enter. So I think it was like 200 for a single ticket to get in, and then like the fast pass alone was like close to 300.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, but
And then
I hope it pays for itself.
it definitely will. You'll enjoy it and you'll want I'll be so jealous and then I'll have to go.
Oh yeah.
And then how are you feeling about like the first season of Loricana?
Like of the upcoming DLC Sorry, what season?
So, like, we just kind of technically finished our first season as World is approaching, and we're going into season
Ah,
two. So, how are you feeling about the first season as it's like
yeah, I
coming to an
guess,
end?
yeah. First season is coming to the end. Yeah, it was a great season. Like, I think it's people can look back at it and be like, oh, there's this that went wrong. Like, overall, it was a great success. You can look at every single DLC they sold out in minutes.
Yeah.
And now you can just build upon that. I know they said, like, oh, this first world, they just want to focus on the players. Um, and make sure that went right. So they probably didn't have like the resources to set up a whole DLC at Disney World and get everyone there. But next year, they know people want to go, and they're going to be really prepared. So I think going into the second season, there's a lot, and I think players are expecting a lot as well. And I hope they're able to, you know, perform, and it'll just be like another great success.
I mean, even with like their communication, like on Tuesday, finding out all of those details, like they even stepped up their game there. So, like, I can only imagine what season two holds for us.
Yeah, there was even just like a random lore cast today, right? And they're doing
I
it
saw
weekly.
that.
Yeah, so yeah, it's great. Greg Tito, the new communication manager, he's already like hitting the ground running. Like, his face is
I know
starting to
only
be
one
everywhere.
month. One
Yeah.
month in, and he's like already like changing everything about Loricana and definitely keeping us well informed.
hmm
I
Yeah, no, it's great. And I think they're getting just like a big enough team where like people can be like, yeah, I'm the communication guy. And then the people that are actually working on the game can focus on doing that.
And then also like they announced like season two will be like the DLCs are going to be announced at World. So I feel like a lot of people are going to be tuning in just to see so that they can start planning these trips.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be a lot of hype around that. Like, I'm hoping they're just like doubling the amount of DLCs that there was
Oh,
in the
that'd be
first season, and
so nice.
yeah, and yeah, myself, like I only went to one, and now like this time around, like I could justify to my wife now that it's worth going to these, and
You went to one and one.
yeah,
Let's be real, okay? That was like a little. You forgot to leave that out. Like I have it in the title of the like the
yeah,
other
what
video,
is
but
that?
you won it. You're a world champ. You're
Yeah.
a DLC champion.
Yeah, no, that was amazing. Just one and done, and then like the surprise of, oh yeah, you're going to Worlds too because you won it. That was just like cherry on
Yeah.
top. And yeah,
What was
now I
it
get to go
like?
to World.
Try like playing all of those rounds to try to win. Like I don't. I've never made day two, so I figured day two is pretty stressful in that sense. Or is it
Yeah,
not stressful? Like you're just like kind of just taking each round as it is.
yeah, like I take each round as it is. There's probably like more stressful specific rounds than there was like just in general. So I know like day one, you want to make sure you're going into day two. So every single like round where it's like the in and win, that's probably what the most stressful is. So but it also depends on like what am I up against. Like, so in my, I think it was sixth round. No, sorry, seventh round. I was against a Steel Song deck, and then my deck was green yellow discard. That's not the best matchup. So I was going into this, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it's just going to be a split in the end, but ended up 2-0ing it. And then the next round was against Zan, and then if I 2-0'd that one, I was in for sure. Um, and some people are like, oh, it's Zan, you're going to be like super intimidated. But I look at the matchup, right? And I knew he was on red purple,
Mhm.
and my deck was just like it's super favorite into that matchup. I know that in and out. And I went into that match and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna 2-0 this. This is gonna be simple. Like I don't look at who I'm against. I just like I know this is a favorable matchup. I win this, so I won that. It was a great feeling. Going into day two, I had practiced the night before. Just I knew the deck list that I was gonna be
Go up
facing,
against.
so
Yeah.
got some reps in there. I was all prepared. I and then once it was coming down to the moment, there's a lot of people stressed. I know there's this one guy who was just like pacing the whole room, and I knew his crew, and like I tried to say hello, and he was just like, I can't talk right now. I need to focus. Just starts walking around the room, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm more of just like okay, let's just relax, calm down. Like it's just gonna be another match kind of
Yeah.
attitude to it.
Okay.
Uh,
I guess it's
and
even like
yeah,
good like even like strategies, like just relax, like know your deck, like know which one's your worst matchup, even try to prepare for it, for even like a nice transition for set champs that are happening. And I believe last time we talked you did a set champ. How did you do in it?
yeah. So that's a champ. I got the promo card, but I didn't win it all.
Okay. I mean the promo
I
card's amazing still too.
Yeah. So I lost to the person that won it all, and I know him, Shaddix.
Hmm.
Um, he was just on. He was on Green Steel Diablo. Um,
Ooh.
it was such a close game, but the match I lost. So I was playing Green Blue, Bend to My Will deck,
Ooh.
and in that deck, if you miss ramp on turn two, it's kind of you're probably losing this. So it's very important to hit ramp, and I
Mhm.
did not hit ramp that game where I needed to.
It's almost like
Yeah,
what happened at the ICL.
yeah, it's was turn two ramp
I
miss.
believe so. From like my
Yeah.
memory when I was like streaming it with you guys, that I believe it was missed.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like
like
turn two ramp is like really needed. He probably Ursula that turn two ramp potentially.
oh, I have Sail and Tipo,
Okay.
so they can't get Ursula, but if you're yeah, like you try to hard mulligan for that
And
ramp
sometimes
card,
you
and
just don't
sometimes
get
you just
it.
miss it. Yeah, it just happens. There's 8 in the deck, and maybe just need to up it to 10.
To
Throw in some one jump aheads and make sure
make
you
it
always
more
get it.
to make it like more consistent.
Oh yeah, and that match in particular that I lost, it was such a close game. I managed, so I was on the draw on the last game, and I managed to just lock him out. So I discarded his hand. He was playing like one character per turn, but he was at 19 lore,
Ooh.
and I just had to. Sorry, just one second. There, my kid is crying. I don't know if I can hear it in the background.
We actually can't. I hear
Okay,
nothing. What?
okay, he'll go back to bed.
What?
Sorry, I was saying, so I locked him out of the match by just keep bouncing every single character that he would play, and I would keep doing that with like Mother's Knows Best. I had Muses out. I even had Mother Gothel, the bounce with Muses to like play Mother Gothel again to bounce to whatever card they played. So he was at 19 lore,
Mm.
and I just need to do this for 2 more turns. I had enough cards where I could do this. There's only one out he had, and that was Pete. So he drew Pete, made it so I can't play any actions, and yeah,
Ooh.
it was game over. He just
Sometimes
got
they're
that
just
one more.
lucky.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And now,
Um,
is this the deck that you played at the set champs, or this is a different one?
So this is, yeah, the deck that the green blue deck that I shared with you is the same one that I played at Set Champs.
Okay. I have it up on the screen. Did we want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah. Um,
Give the viewers some like tips on how to play this deck because it's been circulating.
yeah, for sure. It's not on my screen. Do you,
Oh, let me see.
should I just pull it up on my end?
Um, let me see if I can. Do you see it? Do you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it
Is
now.
that okay?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this is the list.
So we have the
Get an overview.
Clarabelle.
Yeah, so like I said, like what you really want to do with this is make sure you turn to ramp. Um, the I if you're going first, it's kind of like and you get ramp, it's usually over. Um, you can really just win from there because you're able to get to 7 ink fairly easily without like getting out aggroed.
So,
And that's the main goal. So there is the 1 cost Clarabelle to shift the 7 cost Clarabelle. There's Tipo and Sail to ramp on turn 2.
do
That's what
you
you'd ideally want to do.
do you feel like you miss any more one drops, or you're okay if you don't get a one drop?
Yeah, do you? So Clarabelle's the only 1 drops in this version. Um, you're okay missing it, like just because you're trying to ramp and get to turn 4. So if you're on the draw and they're playing like Daisy Ducks, the super aggro cards, it's a little stressful because you need to ramp up and get muses out, and then muses can start help to
Okay.
sing some stuff and bounce everything back. So a lot of the time you're letting them get a bunch of lore, trying to put them in a spot where you lock them out, or you discard their hands, they're
Hmm.
not even able to quest anymore. And Peter Pan is another card that can help with just
This
stopping
one,
them from gaining any lore.
this
Yeah,
seven.
so yeah, the 7 costs, it comes exerted when you play it, and your opponent can't gain any lore unless they challenge into a character that turn.
It's kind
So
of
that's really good for locations too. So like, say if they're trying to be cheeky and throw down like 2 McDuck manors or 3 libraries in
yeah.
a single turn, throw down Peter Pan, and those libraries or McDuck manors won't gain anything.
Very interesting. So, do you find because like your whole goal is to get to the muses, and you can get to the muses by turn three if you're ramping correctly?
Mhm.
Now, how often do you find that you're looking for the muses?
Yeah, Muses is a keep in hand unless you don't have ramp at all.
Okay.
You'll want to say if you're going first, you want to make sure you get ramp. If you're going second, holding on to Muses is fine as well because there's more chances you'll draw into ramp or get ramp, but you also need Muses to protect yourself from any aggro. And then also Kita, the 4 cost ward card.
I have not
That's
seen
really
her
important too.
be played in a hot second, actually, ever almost.
Yeah. So she is also really great for playing on 4, on turn 4.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what she can do is she won't die to like song, steal song. You're pretty much guaranteed to have her stick around the next turn to sing. So when she sings, you can play muses to bounce something back. If you don't have that line, you can use Kita's ability, which is to
Look at the
you
top
tap
two
her
cards.
and yeah, you look at the top 2 cards, put one into your inkwell and the other one on top of your deck. And so that ramps you up without having to use an action or anything.
Ah,
So
okay.
if they play Pete that turn, um, it doesn't matter because you can use Kita's ability. And then also knowing what your top card's going to be can really help out
Mm-hmm. Does
planning your next turn.
your opponent doesn't know your top card, correct? You don't have to show it?
No, they don't. And there's been turns where it's like I was playing a discard deck, green steel discard, and I use Kita's ability. The next card is going to be Clarabelle. I know that. So I just played my turn, like, just trying to bait them to discard my hand, basically. They're like, oh, I only have one card. And I know the next card I'm going to draw is going to be Clarabelle. I'll just play it and refill my hand.
Yep, and draw as many
So,
cards. Very
yeah.
cool. And is this
So,
evasive genie for all of like the evasive characters that are going to be in this next set or this next
y-
meta?
yeah, it helps that Genie's evasive to deal with anything that is also evasive, and then just to bounce back other cards. So on turn 6,
Okay.
you pretty much like so how the curve would typically go.
Mhm.
You would go turn 1, you can play Clarabelle or nothing. Turn 2, you play Tipo Sail to ramp up.
Mhm.
Turn 3, you'd play Kita.
Because you're at
Turn
4 ink
4,
now.
yeah, you're 4 ink. Turn 4, you'd play Muses, sing with Kita or ramp. And if you're able to ramp up, um,
Oh, like the
the
how far I'll
following
go.
turn, yeah, with how far I'll go. On turn 5, at that point, you're going to be able to sing with Muses, sing like "You're welcome," bounce something back to their hand, and then either play Ben to my will or Clarabelle. Um, Clarabelle is better when you play her first, so
Okay.
you're able to get a lot of card draw because you're probably dumping your hand on your way to get to 7 ink.
Okay.
And then hope you draw into a Bend to My Will from all the card draw you use with Clarabelle, and then
Mhm.
play Bend to My Will.
What?
There's times where you'd rather bend to my will first over Clarabelle, and that's usually like if you notice that they're kind of dumping their hand first, saving good cards in their hands. Um, you might just want to play it first, and then you're both like in top deck mode.
But like at that point, would you just ink Clarabelle because you wouldn't need because they don't have any hands in their they don't have any cards in their hand, so it's not really benefiting you unless like just getting like the two lore is what you're looking for.
Yeah, it can work like that sometimes, but also with your welcome, you can force them to draw or to fill up their hand. And if you're bouncing card back to their hand, so that you can also use that to draw off Clarabelle.
Okay, your welcome is almost like Yzma, but Yzma's
Yeah,
purple
yeah,
and a character.
and, yeah. And you're welcome so good with the ward characters because they can sing it. So Kita and Muses can sing it. And it's so good on the turn where you just play Clarabelle or Bend.
Okay, yeah. What is your ideal mulligan? So, like, what are you looking for every single time?
Yeah, every single time is just ramp. If you don't
Just
have it,
ramp.
you're looking for it. And then if you're doing it blind,
Hmm.
ramp of course is number one, and then you just want your 4 costs. So I would say Muses is number one.
Muses is number one before
Um,
ramp?
or sorry, ramp, and then on the 4 costs. So there's 3 of the 4 costs. So there's Grammatala, Muses,
Mhm.
and Kita. Out of those, Muses would be number one, Kita next, and then Grammatala.
So,
But
sorry, is it something like if you don't have, like, let's just say you have a full hand, 7 cards, no ramp, you're chucking it all back?
chuck it, chuck it.
Chucking it all back. You need that ramp. That's how important it is.
Yeah, and there's 12 forecast cards, right? So the likelihood of drawing into one of those, it's pretty high. If so, if you're willing to chuck your whole hand, you'll probably get one. Because you just want that ramp.
Yeah, and you'll probably get the ramp too at that point too because of the consistency.
Yeah,
Unless you're just
yeah. Well,
really
again,
unlucky.
so good.
I.
Yeah, which could happen. It literally happened. So.
So what about this Mother Gothel card? A lot of people I feel like don't play this.
Yeah, so she's pretty good with muses in the late game. So where
Mhm.
you can just keep, say, if they're throwing down something that has 3 strength or more,
Yeah.
you can't bounce it back with muses. So you could use Mother Gothel to bounce back whatever it is, and then use a song and bounce back your Mother Gothel to your own hand, and then just keep doing that a little bit over and over.
But
And
you have to have 5 ink for that. So she's a
yeah,
later
this
gameplay.
oh yeah, this is it's a late game like lockout. And mm, so with Kita is sticky. It's because she's born and like wouldn't get wiped out from like a big Sisu. You need to challenge it, and typically whatever's challenging is dying. So like it's not always easy to kill it. But Kita is just if you're able to stick her on in the later game too, and when you're bouncing everything back, she's you're able to use her ability and you're gaining ink every single turn. So yeah, you can get up to like 13, 14, 15, 16 ink pretty like normally in a match.
Wow. That's kind of crazy because like you really only
Yeah.
see that much ink in red blue. So like knowing that like green blue can do that, that's like kind of wild that all of these cards can do that.
Yeah. It's a lot to manage in real life too, so like I played this deck a lot online and it just does it for you where you're like oh, you tap Kita, okay, it puts an ink down, and you look at your other card on top of your deck. But no, in person, you're like, okay, I gotta grab this card, put it into the inkwell, make sure you're not doing the wrong action because there's like Grandma Tala, how far I'll go, Kita. All those actions are different when you do them, and
Yeah.
it's a lot to manage. So you just gotta make sure you're in the within the time limit too.
I was trying to build your one deck to like play and you can walk me through it and I somebody told me that it might have been a little too complicated for me to play.
Yeah.
A little birdie said that it was a little too complicated for me to play. So that's why
Was
I'm
that the green
picking your
purple
brain
deck?
right now to try to learn this deck.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to play the spicy decks that sometimes like bringing these kind of decks to a set champs. A lot of people don't have experience playing against it, so they are just like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's in your deck. So you can really hit them with like a surprise element, and they just fold that way because they don't know what to do.
Can I ask you
And
why you're
yeah,
not playing Ink Geyser?
I haven't tested Inkizer, to be honest, but from what I've heard and seen, um, it's just very slow. Um, where like you're just giving up a turn to play it, you're giving your opponent back a ton of cards. So like bend to my will is kind of you want to empty their hand. If you play Inkizer, you're giving them all their cards back
Mm-hmm.
'cause from their ink. So yeah, like I've seen a version that uses Ink Geyser.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's probably the best for the whole field,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're doing the mirror, I think it can be really good as long as you have Fishbone Quill. Fishbone Quill is really good with that. I think it's just more niche.
Okay. It's like more of like you like the discarding type play style.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah,
with your like yellow green discard. You know?
yeah,
So
pretty much.
that's what I'm seeing. You like the discard play style.
Yeah, sadly with the whole rotation coming up, I think we're gonna lose a bunch of discard, which honestly, it's not. It's probably good for the game.
They're gonna reprint some of them too, so I don't think you're gonna lose a bunch.
Yeah, maybe,
We
maybe
just
they'll make
don't
it
know
more
which
tame.
ones yet.
Yeah. Prince John, I think he needs to go, to be honest.
He should be banned.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
my last question about this deck, I probably will get more as I'm like as we're just chit chatting. But when would you play McDuck Manor?
So yeah, McDuck Manor is kind of um on a turn where, like, say if you get B preps or they kind of wipe your board. That's when you would just want to throw down McDuck Manors. So it's very like late game.
Late
Um,
game.
a lot of if you're trying to like defend your board, you're singing a lot. Um, you're challenging. So McDuck Manors are able to help like while your characters are trying to do not gain lore and trying to just stay alive. McDuck Manors can just come in and get us closer to winning.
Yeah, okay. And then why one under the sea? Is that like you're just like
It
one
is,
of card, or do you find that like if you're looking for it you get it and one's fine, or is it like the uninkable count?
yeah, it's the uninkable count, like trying to keep it generally low. Um, but under the sea is just like the emergency button. If things go wrong with specifically like Steel Song decks, like a lot of decks that can just go really wide, and if you don't have an answer for that, like sometimes you're only bouncing one card back with muses. Under the sea is just a good like, okay, reset if it hits. So yeah.
And would you say yours is also more of a control deck because you're trying to control their board, like bounce their cards back to their hand so they can't quest with it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think a lot of discard decks are kind of control because you're just when you discard a card, you're kind of just destroying the card, but it's in their hand. Um, so yeah, like this is you're bouncing cards back, you're discarding them, uh, you can play under the sea. You're just trying to survive. So that's the main thing that control decks would do. Then once you're able to stabilize and make sure they're not able to keep questing, and then you put the gas on and try to win from there. And that's what yeah, I have Pete in the deck too, the 5 cost
Yes.
ward character. So he can really put on like the gas. So he you play 2 actions in a turn and he has 4 lore. And that
That's
happens quite
nice.
a bit. Like if you're playing like visions in a turn and then play how far I'll go. Now he's a 7 strength character with 4 lore. He has ward. He's pretty like
He's
flexible,
pretty powerful
and
at that point.
oh yeah.
So, I also noticed from like Twitter, you bought some tramps. So why aren't you playing them? I follow
uh
you. I keep
yeah.
tabs.
I don't think it fits in this deck. Uh
Okay. You
but
tried it out and it
yeah.
just didn't work.
I haven't tried it out, but yeah, like I don't think it would fit because you're really not trying to like buff something up to challenge. But Tramp in the Turnidogs deck, oh yeah, that's where it's at. And especially
Okay.
with all the new dogs coming out.
I
Um,
know.
oh
Because I was about to say, I don't see that enchanted in here, and I saw all four of them.
yeah. Yeah, and the card is just yeah, it's like so nice the art. Um,
It is
and
really
now
nice.
with the new lady card, the new 1 cost lady card is going to be really good. The Shift Tramp card is able to make sure if your board gets wiped out, you just draw for every single card that gets destroyed. Like, yeah, that deck is going to be probably like a big meta, especially, when a new set releases in the first week. The very like aggressive decks or like the decks that are like tried and true, they do well at the beginning. So like this deck, everyone's going to try to do it. It's going to be the deck to beat at the beginning for sure.
Very cool. Um, yeah, and I have to admit, it's like the decks that like people that are talking about already that they're like trying to like map out, and then you find like a deck that is off meta, like almost like this one, because this one has a
Yeah.
lot of cards that you don't really see widely played, and it's just kind of like thinking differently. And I also think that's like where you benefit in Loracana by like doing your own deck builds, like trying to think about different strategies, because they love that aspect of it too. And I think that's why they banned some cards so that they can keep that flowing, the ideas flowing.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like doing just bringing your own spice to like a set champs deck. Um, yeah, that can be really good because, like I said before, you just it's a surprise. People don't know what you're playing. They'll throw people off, and there's so many decks right now that are just viable. They're good and can just win any set champs if you know your matchups, know how to play your deck. Yeah, I think anybody can get there with pretty much anything.
Do you have any set champs coming up?
Yeah, I have one on Saturday,
Okay, very
and
exciting. Another redemption for
yeah,
you to get that mat.
yeah, this one I'm hoping to get it. Last set champ season, I went to three and I won all three, so I'm due to lose. I'm due to just go on a losing streak, so that's all right.
Okay, well, let's get the losing streak out now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're okay with a losing
exactly.
streak now for set champs, as long
Yeah,
as we get the winning streak later on.
exactly. That's my thinking. You just gotta like take the losses and then yeah, worlds just win.
And do you have any advice for like new people trying out this deck, or like coming into Loracana as like a world, as a DLC champion? Like, what would you tell them and stuff like that?
Yeah, like my advice, if it depends on someone's experience in TCGs, I guess. So if you're completely new to TCGs and just picking this up for the first time, I would say look into YouTube videos to figure out just fundamentals and how to get better that way. The next step is kind of like once you are better, start playing a lot and just losing. Lose, play, like just make sure you're getting a lot of reps because once you start playing a deck a lot, you start to notice the small things and seeing like, oh, I've been in this situation before. Like, what did I do last time? Oh, that didn't work out. Maybe let's try something else. And you can also like kind of skip that by watching other good players play and um, see what they would do in those situations. But like when it comes down to it, make sure you get your own practice, and that's kind of what I did for the DLC Toronto. I just played that green yellow deck like a lot. I knew every single line. I knew what to do in certain situations. I knew what to do if I didn't get Diablo. I knew what to do when I got Diablo, and um, you're just able to just know kind of like the ins and outs. And I think that's important because then you're confident in yourself. You're going in confident. You know what to do, and I think that's pretty much the most important. Just be confident in yourself, practice, and just try to get luck.
I was so happy that you mentioned just like taking a lot of losses. I don't know if you know this, but when I had no experience in TCGs before last year.
Oh,
We're talking,
this is
I
your
didn't
first
even,
one?
yeah, I didn't touch any cards. So
Oh.
I got my butt whooped so many times at locals where I didn't even quest for the first time. I didn't attack any characters because I didn't know. And then now, after you get your like mojo, you start like figuring out, okay, I need to attack now. Like, you start kind of calculating. Like, I still don't even touch my opponent's discard. I don't even look at it. Because like that's just not something that I think about, even though it's like knowledge and free power. I'm like,
Yeah,
I try to just remember. I'm like, I saw maybe two, but like, it doesn't occur to me like, oh, let me just grab their deck and look.
yeah. Oh yeah, all the yeah, those small things just come later on once you're like when everything is just like secondhand nature and you just do everything just by like memory. Um, yeah, those little nuances where you can just be like, we're just asking, oh yeah, cards in hand, and kind of just keeping track of how many cards they have.
I don't do that either.
Uh, yeah, and sometimes like even the difference between like being able to telegraph like, oh, they definitely have that card because just like how they're playing,
Mhm.
that is just something that you kind of just learn just by
Playing.
hopefully, yeah, just by playing. Like maybe you were in their shoes one time and you were sweating in this certain situation, and yeah, like Rapunzel trap is like kind of the biggest one where like, oh, um, they're turning their card sideways with their three attack or their four health character. You have a three attack character on the board. If you quest or attack in, they'll just heal it with Rapunzel. And they're just trying to set that up. Like that's like the most obvious one, and like good
Telegraphing,
players would be
yeah.
like, yeah, I won't quest here because if I do quest and they actually have Rapunzel, I just lose the game. So a lot of the times it's like even if they don't have it, it's just not worth it
Mhm.
to get that single piece of lore. So like there's a lot of little things like that that I think newer players might not know. But just after like doing matchup, just knowing the matchup, knowing what's possible, that is something that I think makes a newer player and like a good player like that keeps them different.
Yeah. Do you have any other things to add?
No, I think yeah,
Turn two
like
ramp is the biggest thing for a blue green deck.
yeah, biggest thing. If you miss it, you probably lost. No, but yeah, like stick those characters, like the ward characters. They have ward for a reason. They're just there to be able to stick around to sing on the following turn and make sure you're bouncing stuff back to their hand, and they just get a lot of value from Clarabelle. Use bend to my will to discard their hand and go from there.
And go Burr at that point.
Yeah, yeah. Kiko's Burr.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate all of the advice you gave, and I can't wait to see how you do on Saturday and then at Worlds.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, bye, Diego.
Mhm. Bye.